Good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about networking basics. My name is Jillian Fariga, and I am the coordinator of career services and outreach here at Woodbury University. So what we'll discuss today, I will have the career services contact information up. We'll talk about what exactly is networking and talk about networking best practices. And then, of course, if there's any questions, you can always feel free to email them to career services, or you can message us on our social media platforms. My contact information is here. You can book appointments online through Handshake. Email me at jillian.fariga@woodbury.edu or call me at 818-252-5207. So what is networking? Essentially, networking is the exchange of information or services amongst individuals, groups, or institutions. But if we want to really get down to it, it's the cultivation of productive relationships for employment or business opportunities and to learn more from other folks. So networking is about relationships, connecting with other people. It's about finding common interests between the people who are talking to each other and the information exchange and information gained from these connections and from these conversations. We do this all the time, even when we aren't aware that we're doing it. Networking is happening when you're in your classes and you're making connections with your professors, or you're talking to your classmates, or you're building relationships with the folks that you work with. It could even be your family friends and the folks that you know that work in the businesses around you that you've started to build a relationship with. Networking essentially comes down to how you interact with the people around you and how you can best serve and support each other. So why should you network? Obviously, first and foremost, when a lot of us think of networking, we think of job and internship opportunities. So networking can help you tap into what's called the hidden job market by giving you an edge over the competition due to the relationship that you've established with whoever it is that is your connection with a business. And so we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but hidden job market is essentially the jobs that are not posted online because the hiring manager is just trying to hire from within or is trying to hire from referrals from the folks that they know. And so you won't see those kinds of jobs posted on LinkedIn or Indeed or Handshake even. These are the jobs that are from word of mouth, and those do give you the highest chance of success to actually land those roles versus just applying online and no one knows who you are. Employers, like I said, are more likely to look favorably upon candidates that are referred to them by word of mouth rather than someone that just kind of coldly applies through an online website. And then, of course, you should network to gain visibility and referrals because networking gives you visibility for future opportunities, and you can be recommended to other opportunities depending on the folks that you are interacting with. So networking comes down to three basic components. You want to have your goals, you want to know who to network with and where to network, and you want to make sure that you're following up so that you keep that network strong. So your goals, you want to make sure that you know what you can offer to a person that you're networking with, and you want to know what it is that you want from them. Is it a connection to the industry? Is it information about the industry? Is it a referral to a job? Make sure that you have that clear before you start connecting with someone so that you have a clear purpose that you're heading towards. For who to network with and where to network, you want to think of your network and the best opportunities that you can use to grow and strengthen it. For instance, if you have a professor that you know is working at an organization or a company that you really want to work for, or they have worked for that in the past, that could be part of your network, and making sure that you're building a strong relationship with that professor can really make your network strong. And then, of course, networking isn't just a one-off thing that you do and it's one conversation and then you're done. You want to make sure that you're following up so that you can stay connected to them and you can be at the forefront of their mind so that when new opportunities come up or something that would be relevant or interesting for your field comes up, they'll be sure to think of you because you're staying connected with them. So when it comes to your networking goals, you want to think about what are you wanting to accomplish from networking. This could be a better job, a change of career, you want to gain advice, or you could want to make a sale if you're in the business market. Whatever your goal is, knowing it in advance is going to help you create a better network. So rather than just kind of connecting with people randomly and not really knowing how you can serve them or how they can serve you, doing this makes sure that you're building meaningful relationships. You want to also create a networking plan. So this can be done by making an objective, a contact list, and thinking about what it is that you have to offer. So for your objective, you're going to use that goal that you've just thought of, whether that's making a connection, finding a job, or getting advice, and you want to define that and focus on what it is that you want to achieve and how the people that you're connecting with and networking with can help you. You also want to make a contact list of who you're trying to connect with, whether it's an existing contact or a new contact. Making this can just kind of help simplify the process and make it seem a lot more seamless and easier if you have a checklist of folks that you want to make sure that you're connecting with. And then, of course, you want to think about what you offer. Networking isn't just a one-way street. You don't want to just take. You also want to have something that you can give them. So there's also 3 different types of networking. There's online, face-to-face, and general. And so online networking can be done through professional websites such as LinkedIn, Handshake, and even can be done through social media platforms if you set them up so that they are professional. For instance, a lot of folks will have an Instagram account that just showcases their digital creations, or folks will have a Twitter account where they engage with businesses and corporations that they're interested in working for. That could be a way to build up your online presence and also help you network with other folks online by building that up. Face-to-face is what we typically think of when we think of networking. So this could be networking events, business events, seminars, and even our career fairs. And those are all great opportunities to network with folks that are both at our school or in your organization and beyond. And then, of course, there's general networking, which a lot of us actually don't think about. That can include our friends and family, our professional contacts, and our professors, and they are all part of our network. Our network isn't just this broad professional field. It's also the people that we interact with on a daily basis, because your friend could refer you to a position, or you could have a family member that could give you an insight on the field that you're interested in. So your network also includes your friends and family. When you're thinking about who to network with and you're making that contact list, you want to make an initial contact list of who it is that you already know, and think of how they've helped you and how you've helped them. This can be helpful so that you know how to make your goals moving forward, and so that you know what you can provide to folks so that it's more of a give and take relationship rather than a one-sided street. Think of who they might know that you would like to connect with. Like I mentioned before, if your professor has worked at a company that you're interested in working for, that could be a potential in for you, and that could be a way that they could best support you. Think about how you're going to connect with them. Are you going to do it face-to-face because you'll be seeing them in class soon? Or are you going to be doing it via email or via a LinkedIn connection? However it is that you're going to do it, make sure that you have some plan of action for how you're going to contact them. And then, of course, if you need to find new contacts, you want to identify organizations, events, professional groups, and clubs whose members meet your profile characteristics and get involved. And the key part of that is getting involved. Because if you don't get involved and you just passively join an organization, that's not necessarily going to help you with your personal or your professional development. But if you're actively involved and people know that they can rely on you to get things done and they can rely on you to be there and be a good connection, then that's going to better your network and further you in your career. Providing value goes into what I was just saying. So you want to find out how you can help your network get what they want. And so I think a lot of us think that sometimes, oh, I'm too new in my career, or I'm still a college student. I don't have anything that I can provide someone that's been in the field for 20 years. But that's not true. We want to see networking as a relationship where we give before we take. And you as a college student can introduce them to a new lead. You can invite them to an event that's worth their while. You can introduce them to other folks that they could benefit from, or you could send them an article that might be of interest. You also, because you're a student, are learning the most up-to-date and the most relevant information in these different fields that you're studying. And that can be really relevant and really important for an employer. So keep that in mind. You do have plenty to offer them, and you want to make sure that you do offer them something so that your relationship is a two-way street. For what do you say? You want to structure your networking conversation so that you know what it is that you want to accomplish in the conversation and you have clear things that you're going to say. So you want to be yourself. You don't want to just try to get leads or get names from it. You do want to try to build a genuine connection. So introduce yourself and establish rapport. Ask questions that will engage the person that you're speaking with and create a dialogue. Make them talk about themselves and look for mutual interests or something personal to connect with. I always tell folks that people love talking about themselves, and so if you can get someone to talk about themselves, they'll have a more positive view of you, and you'll also learn more about them and find ways to connect with them, or you'll just know their interests so that you can bring that up in future conversations. You want to ask questions to learn about them. And the more information you know about them, the easier the next part of networking is going to be. So you want to create a connection between the two of you, suggest a future meeting, and wrap up the conversation by offering your assistance and also offering ways that you can connect in the future. So some best practices for networking with structuring your conversations. You want to be genuine, ask open-ended questions, ask for referrals, and remember that when it comes to contacts, you want quality over quantity. Although it's great to have a lot of different contacts that you can reach out to, it's going to be more about the relationships that you build with those people so that they know that you would be someone that they can refer to different opportunities, or so that they trust you to give them insight into their field. And with that, you want to make sure that you're remembering to follow up with them and thank your connections. The repeated interactions are going to encourage cooperation. You want to project confidence, make good eye contact, find something in common and connect over that, and don't wait until you need something to build relationships. I think this is the most important piece of advice because you want to have those relationships built up really before you need something so that it doesn't seem like you're just reaching out to someone so that they can give you something and so that you have time to build and nurture that relationship beforehand. Last but certainly not least, while you're a college student, I would encourage you to conduct as many informational interviews as you can. While you're a college student, informational interviews seem like something you should be doing. And so a lot of times employers are happy to do informational interviews because college students should be learning about the field that it is that they want to go into. So you can conduct informational interviews to explore careers, clarify your career goals, discover employment opportunities that aren't advertised. Remember that hidden job market we talked about before? Expand your professional network, build confidence for your job interviews, and identify your personal strengths and areas for growth. And so when it comes to doing an informational interview, you want to identify the occupation or the industry that you want to learn about and prepare for the interview by deciding on what information you'd like to know and prepare a list of questions you'd like to have answered. You'll then identify people that you want to interview by starting with those you already know and asking them, hey, do you have anyone else that could provide some more information about this topic? I'm interested in building my network. You want to arrange, of course, and conduct the interview, and then always follow up. So those are the basics of networking. It may seem like this big abstract concept, but it really is fairly straightforward. Networking is about building relationships with people so that they can benefit you and you can benefit them. So think of the ways that you could be of a benefit to the folks that you're networking with, and think of specific ways that they can support you in your personal and professional journey. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, jillian.fariga@woodbury.edu, call at 818-252-5207, or book an appointment through Handshake. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.